So from the main web page, you can click Login, or just simply go to app.happyteams.io for the login page. So to log in, you just enter your email address, click the login button, and then HappyTeams will actually send you an email with a login link. So let's log into your email, and you find the email from hello@happyteams.io. You'll see your login button here. So click it, and then you'll be taken to your dashboard. So it's just as simple as that. No password to remember, no password reset, just a very convenient login button. Are a Microsoft Teams user, make sure to click the Microsoft Teams button to log in, authenticating against Microsoft using your Microsoft credentials. So if you're an admin or a leader, the first view you see when you log in is a summary view, which really is just a summary of your organization and the answers provided by your team. So the first section, you see your happiness score, response rate, questions asked versus questions answered. The second one is your happiness trend. So the blue line represents your organization's engagement or happiness score over time versus the gray line, which is an average of all the organizations on HappyTeams. So you can get an idea of where your organization is compared to the baseline average. Here we can see our 4 main focus areas: leadership, well-being, personal growth, and job satisfaction. These are just simply a logical grouping of the questions we ask your team members and the responses they give. And we group them into these key focus areas. Below each focus area, we can see a summary of our lowest and highest scoring questions. So that way you give you a really nice summary at a glance of the pulse of your team. So as a leader, from this dashboard, I can see I need to dive into leadership in a little bit more detail. So I can do that by clicking this view button. And what this does, it will take me to a view of just the leadership. And you can see here, this view is very similar to the first one, except now it's filtered by just the focus area, leadership. So you can see your happiness score, response rate, questions asked, and questions answered, just for the questions for the leadership focus area. From the focus area view, we can drill down into a specific category. So let's drill down into communication to see why the score is so low. So again, this view should be very familiar to you by now. So as you drill down, now we're just seeing the information or the summary data for just the question category of communication. And so we can see here the happiness score, response rate, questions asked versus questions answered again, as well as the happiness trend over time. If I scroll down, I can also see the very specific questions and their scores for the category, based off of the highest and lowest scoring grouping. This is the real power of HappyTeams, is that you can see specific problem areas and then be able to drill down to the very specific category and question level. So that way you can get the data that you need to take action to solve the problems within your teams. So from the main dashboard, click on the People tab. So this is where you can see all of your team members and also manage each person. So for each person, we can activate or deactivate them. So deactivated users will no longer receive questions from HappyTeams, and you'll see them as marked as disabled over here. You can also set the language, and we have 4 different language options: English, Spanish, Polish, and Russian. And so in order to add a new person, just click the Add Person button, give them a name, and then an email address. You can also upload a CSV, so you can export a list of all your employees or team members from your HR system, for example, into a CSV format that has name and email, and you can upload them that way. So if we save this, so now we see Bob down here, set up to receive an email. He's also a team member of a role. And so I can go in here and edit Bob and say, let's say Bob wants to receive his in Spanish. And so we can do that. We can also make Bob an admin at this time as well. So we just click, and now Bob will now receive his questions in Spanish. We can also deactivate users from this view as well by just clicking the trash can. and removes them from the list. Teams is actually probably my most favorite feature and probably the most powerful feature of HappyTeams. So really from the dashboard, you just click on Teams and you can see all of the teams that you have set up within your organization. If you're a new organization, this list will be empty, but see, we've already added a couple of teams in our test organization. And so really, if you think of teams, it's just any way that you can structure or group all your people within your organization. And so these groupings and these teams are very flexible, and it's completely up to you on how you set up your teams based off your company structure. So let's create a new team. Let's say we have a new office in New York, and we wanted to set up a New York office. And so we also give you the ability to set a type for a team as well. So the default is role. So you think finance, marketing, IT, those are different roles within the organization, developer, things like that. You can also set it up by country, location, region, or department. So in this case, I want to set up a region because this is our New York office that services our East Coast part of the United States. So we save this, and now this takes you into the New York office team view. And so you can see here, this is a region. And now from here, I can add leaders, who is the manager of the group. Also, who are the individual team members. So let's add a couple of team members. Let's select Betsy, and let's select Annie. And you can also set the team member since date. And so what this does is, if we keep it on the current day, which is May the 30th, it'll start collecting answers from today's date on. Now, let's say Betsy and Annie have been part of this team for a month now, and I'm just now setting up the team. I can go back in and select April 30th, for example. And so when I save that, now HappyTeams will go in and auto-populate all scores for that team and give you statistics right away for the last 30 days. Let's also add a leader to this group. Let's set Brian as the manager of this group. Again, let's change the date to April 30th and click Save. So now we've set up this New York office with Brian as the leader and Betsy and Annie as team members. So let's now talk about how to add a custom question to your HappyTeams organization. So HappyTeams comes with a question bank already built into HappyTeams that'll just start firing off questions as soon as you install HappyTeams. But let's say you have a question that you want to have for your specific organization. Maybe you have a project going on or a very specific scenario that you're concerned about, and you want to make sure that's included in the HappyTeams question bank. So from the main dashboard, click on Questions. And from here, you can see a list of added questions that you already have added to your organization. And so you can see here which ones are enabled, meaning they'll go out at random to your team, or disabled, that means they're not active anymore. They're old questions. And so let's add a question. So you just simply click the Add Question button and add in your question. Click Save. And now your question is added. And so next time it'll start sending out questions to your team, it'll start putting that in there. You can also edit your question. So, if you had a typo or maybe you want to slightly change the question, you can do that as well. Although we do recommend that not to edit a question that has been gathering data for a long time, because that could actually affect the results. Surveys is a really great feature of HappyTeams and allows you to set up a group of questions that will be sent out to your team all at once, rather than scattered throughout each day. So to get to surveys, from your main dashboard, click on Surveys, and this will pull up the view of all of the surveys that you have currently set up, as well as the number of times they ran and the next run date. And so you can see here we have a satisfaction survey scheduled to run tomorrow, May 31st. You can also, from this view, look at the results of previous surveys. So let's take a look at this first survey that has two times it's ran. So let's take a look at it. And from here you can see the questions, the times that it ran, as well as the response rate and just the overall score. So 58% for this particular question. You can say, well, what did it look like on February 17th when it ran? You can go back and compare that to the February 27th. So you can see we got an improvement over the first time it ran. From here, you can also edit the survey. So from here, we can schedule another run. So let's say I want to send this out now June 17th. And so when we go back to the main survey, we see the next run date, June 16th. So to add a new survey, you just click the Add Survey button, give the survey a name, select which team you would like for the survey to go out to. If you leave it blank, it'll send out to your entire organization. You can select the questions, including custom questions, and then you set the first run date. So from the home page, you just click the billing section, and you'll be taken to this view right here. And from here, you can see the number of people within your organization that are going to get invoiced each month. You can see your type of subscription you have, monthly or yearly, as well as whether you're active status. So from here, you can update your billing and set different payment methods. You can also cancel your subscription from here as well. And then from here, you can also see all the different billing cycles that your organization has been through, as well as seeing receipts by clicking on the eye icon here. So from the main homepage, click on the integrations button. And really, this is what makes HappyTeams so powerful, is because we connect to your existing organization. And so you can connect to Slack, email, or Microsoft Teams, or you can connect to all three. So from here, let's say you just connect a new service, you can connect to multiple Slack orgs, you can connect to Microsoft Teams, you can do email all at the same time. And so what this does, HappyTeams integrates into your existing communication channel, and then that's how questions will be delivered. So if you're connected via Slack, your questions will be sent out via Slack. If you're connected via email, then users that are connected via email will get email questions. So let's talk about organization settings. So from the main dashboard view, click on the settings. This will pop up open a modal with all the different organization settings. The first one is what should we call your organization? You can change the name of your team. It could be your company name, it could be a team name, it could be your organization name. The next one is, should we send questions to all people? This one is, if this one is checked, what this is going to do is every person in your organization is going to by default get sent questions every day. The next one is, what language should we use for new people? And so this is your default language setting. And so you can choose from the number of different languages that we have to offer. If you do not see your primary language in here, reach out to us and we'll work on translations with you. We're always adding new translations and we're always looking to add new translations. The default setting for when you should send questions is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1400. You can also set this to send in the morning, later in the evening, depending on when you want your questions to go out. And then from here, how often should we send questions? So if you say daily, your question is going to go out Monday through Friday every single day. Bi-daily is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then from here, should we focus on one category? So let's say you're wanting to improve a specific category, and so you really want to keep a close eye on that specific category. You can select a category, and what it is we're going to prioritize sending questions out a little bit more often for that category, allowing you to quickly gather data for a specific category that you're wanting to level up in. So after you've made your setting changes, don't forget to click save. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions or any feedback for us, please reach out to us at hello@happyteams.io. We'd love to hear from you.